a stencil or design for a tattoo or piercing, what should the person that's getting the tattoo or piercing in that case should look for?
Like even before and after it's applied to the skin.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. First thing that jumps out to me, maybe even before you get to the stenciling part, is spelling.
Spelling, for sure. Definitely.
Spelling and dates, man. You know, it's like a big joke all the time. You hear people kind of joking about it, but it fucking happens.
Yep.
You get, you know, the customer's all excited. They got a million things going through their head, and they're not necessarily looking at every single little thing in there. Mm-hmm. You, a lot of times, don't know what date, you've never seen or heard of the date before. And when you're writing and drawing things, a lot of times, we're paying attention to how that word looks.
Yeah, we're not looking at it as a word. We're looking at, or even as letters. We're
right.
Individual lines.
Right. We're looking at it as more of like a piece of the artwork. Yep. So if we're not extra diligent, it can be easy to slip by us as well. So having both of us look at that before it even gets onto you.
Plus, you're channeling your creative side. Which how you interpret language is completely different when you're drawing out lettering than it is when you're writing it out or typing it out.
And if
it's proven fact. It's one of the reasons why I'm dyslexic, so that's one of the reasons why it's more symbol oriented for me when I read than it is, the shape of the letter.
I get a lot of people that ask me how I can do a word upside down and backwards so easily, and I'm like, well, it's because I'm not reading it. I'm not writing the word. I'm drawing a letter. I'm drawing a line.
Yeah, so you're not writing. You're not drawing a letter.
So
it's
you
just
guys,
a shape.
You as a client have to really check the spelling and stuff first, because we're not always familiar with the phrase. We're not familiar with the words themselves, and once it's applied to you, we definitely aren't really reading the words quite as often anymore, as much as we're paying attention to the lines themselves. So it's something you're right. Spelling is really important to check on that, because it'll slip past us. There's
kind of a joke that I hear every now and then, and it's there are two types of tattoo artists. Ones that have misspelled things, and ones that are going to misspell things.
Yeah. Especially the word tattoo.
Oh boy, yeah, I've seen some doozies. So, but anyway, but beyond that, a big thing for me. What's
Well, basically, part of it is creative parents who come up with these weird spellings for the word Michael,
right,
or the word Michelle. Because they wanted to be unique, and we don't know that. When you come in and go, I want Michael, 12, 13, 72, we're not going to know that you spelled it differently than everybody else, and it looks a little bit like Michelle.
We know that half of the people spelled Jackson with an X, but some of them didn't. So it's good to take a close look at what's going on in that regard. But as far as design, for me, stencil wise, when people are looking at it. Overall, for me, don't look at the design itself. Look how it looks on you. Look overall at your body, how it looks from afar. Imagine somebody is just glancing at you. Are they going to see this little smudge on your arm? Are they going to, is it going to look appealing overall when they look at you? Does it fit you? Does it wear you? Or are you wearing it? Things like that is what I look for. Obviously, you want to, the shape of the tattoo to at least somewhat match the shape of the body part. And that's a big, absolutely, it's a big thing. I like to make it look like you were born with that tattoo. Like it fits on your body right there, and it just works. It just looks like it's supposed to be there.
And like turning or adjusting when you're looking at it, especially if it's on an area of your body that you move around a lot.
Yeah.
Because tattoos do look different when you move different angles, and you want it to fit the flow. On the piercing side, I always tell people, look at it up close, and then look at it at a distance.
Yeah.
Because that is a majority of people are going to see from this distance.
Right.
If it looks straight here, but it looks crooked there,
sure,
it's going to look crooked to everybody you come in contact with.
Yeah.
You have to have that perception and understand that. And we do, like with lip piercing, sometimes a lot of people smile and frown, is I want to see how that moves on your mouth and what it's going to look like when it's...
Understanding that no human body is completely a mirror image of the other side. So, that can be a struggle depending on certain body areas that, across backs or straight down the spine. It's very few people I've come in contact with that have a perfectly straight spine, down this way. A lot of people will have a little bit of a deviation. Or if you're right-handed, the muscles on the right side of your back and your right shoulder is going to be bigger, and that pushes things around. So being able to find that medium and work with the body and understand that as the client when you're looking at it, especially arms here. A lot of times people are like, oh, that's not in the middle because, it's in the middle here, but it's not in the middle down here. Well, it depends on how much you're turning your hand. Some people can only turn their arm that much. Other people can get really flat. And when you go to look at that, if you're not doing the exact same pose, then it's it's not always going to look like you think it is in your head because it's on the scan.
And you're tattooing you're not a perfect cylinder. It's triangular and it goes out. It's not even a perfect cone.
Sure.
And part of it doesn't, to a degree, perspective style art comes into play, where you have one end that's going to drop a little bit on one side than the other side so that it looks centered and it looks straight and correct.
Right, yeah. Aesthetically, you want it to be, you want it to look centered. Whether you measure from the center to there and out to there and center to there and out to there and it's different, that doesn't matter. No one's going up to you with a ruler and going to measure stuff. It should be within the first 2-3 seconds when you look. Does it look right? Does it look out of place? Because the more you stare and stare and stare, you're going to start noticing, oh, his shoulder's a little higher on that side, so that looks like, that's further away from there than there. Well, there's nothing you can do about that.
You have to remember that you
have to cut the difference. Yeah, you have to split the difference sometimes. And
and as humans, we are evolution or whatever we are designed to find things that don't fit.
Yeah.
It's part of our defensive mechanism that if something looks out of place, we're more prone to focus on it.
It pulls you right into it. Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that you want to do. You want to kind of look at it and go, well, does that fit into the body? Does it flow with the body? Is it part of the body? Mm-hmm. Like you've said, Sherry used to say, it's like, yeah, the tattoo was there the whole time. I just uncovered it.
Yep, I just brought it out. Yeah, that's exactly what I like to do, and I like to hear people kind of say that too. Like, man, it just fits perfect right there. Nailed it. That's what you want, A thing that I like to tell people too is after I get the stencil on them, and take a look, I try to make sure they know if it needs to move, let me know. It's easy to move it.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll get people that are kind of like, oh, I don't know, it's worth the time. It's worth the time. Yeah. Because if we move it and you didn't like it, I'll put it back where it was the first time. I'd rather us take an extra 2 minutes and an extra sheet of stencil paper to make sure that little nag isn't in the back of your brain every time you look at it. Like, yeah, I should have moved it down. No, fuck that. After it's done, it's way harder to move. Man, before it's done, easy. So don't ever be shy. I mean, it's going to be there a while.
It's like measure twice, mark once.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm happy to if I'm doing a piercing, especially in the face, where it's going to be a centerpiece of everything everybody that comes in contact with them. I'm more happy to sit there and have them ask 4 people around them and ponder it than call me back 2 days later and go, dude, it's a little bit off to the side. Can you re-pierce it an eighth of an inch to the left?
Right.
Because you can't. Mm-hmm. It's going to take a year or so to heal enough. Otherwise, that needle's going to fall right back into that same spot. And if it doesn't, the jewelry's going to migrate there.
Yeah, and not enough tissue to support that new hole because you got that thin, tiny little wall right there. If you can get it, and that's going to, and then you're in big trouble. So.
Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering what we're drinking, this episode is brought in part by Death
Before Decaf. He's got a speech impediment.
Yes.
What do you do?
I have the impediment.
Yeah, and we have the bag. I took it in there when I made the last batch. I'll get it out here.
Sorry, I didn't want to...
Yes, Death Before Decaf is our favorite brew, and she's a local lady. She's a friend of ours, and she has some of the most awesome flavors. This is the Shiner. I don't know which. Try to see. Hold that up there. It's super friggin' delicious. She did a pop-up shop here once, and hopefully we'll get her to do another one here before too long.
And we'll let you know. That's why you should watch the studio updates, because we'll tell you that stuff.
Yes, every week studio updates.
Every Thursday, unless somebody doesn't give me their stuff on time. That's Friday.
I have a lot of... I wear many hats.
So, back to the subject at hand.
Yeah.
that it also comes into that thing that if you have a friend with you, you have somebody with you, it doesn't hurt to sit there and have them take a look at it and kind of give you some hinters as far as placement and how it's going to flow and so forth.
Yeah.
Just don't bring every negative person down.
Right? Or that one person that got pierced 6 years ago and they know everything
yes.
about piercings now and can't wait to tell you all the different terms that they know involving your equipment and things like that. Sometimes those people can be a little anti-progress, we'll say.
Yes.
But yeah.
Or
but
they've read a book.
Right. Or
that
their
was-
cousin is a piercer in LA. And boy, he's super good. But anyway, what do you have anything to add to that?
Nope.
You've just been kind of chilling,
I
dog.
kind of just agreeing and laughing.
You need more coffee.
I had a client yesterday saying a lot of the same things here. That was exactly what you were just saying. So I'm just kind of recollecting on that and agreeing with you. Just, yep, I know the stories. I know them all.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, I mean, you've been doing a lot. It seems like I've seen 2 pieces that you've done with the wraparound wings on the upper shoulder. And, like, you're talking about the force design that you've been doing. And, then, like, it does move. It is fluid. And that's part of what we're going for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now that you watched the show and you've enjoyed it, because we know you have, give us a thumbs up, because that's like applauding and making us happy. Letting us know we did a good job. Also subscribe and click that bell next to the subscription so you get notifications. We post videos here on tattoo education, piercing education, in our weekly updates for the studio where you get to see these guys' favorite tattoo or what have you of the week. So go ahead and do that now.
Click.